Now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, PUCL Podcast.
It's PUCL! PUCL! It's PUCL! PUCL! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! PUCL! PUCL.
Hello and welcome to the PUCL Podcast. I'm your host, Trainer Thatch, here today with my wonderful co-host. We've got the one and only Lord of the Land, Seth Vilo.
Hello, my fellows, it is I.
And we've got the sassy and sleepy, as always, Sublimemanic.
Hello, if he's Lord of the Land, I want to be Lord of the Dead. Because I'm not awake
I
yet.
definitely thought you were just going to go Lord of the Sea. We were going to have like a surf and turf thing, but okay.
I think that's actually like the UK's equivalent of the Navy, actually. Like their head of the Navy is called like the Lord of the Sea, I think.
Yeah.
Or no, I think it's technically Sea Lord. I think it's technically Sea Lord. Never mind. Sea Lord, yeah. Well, because like the army one is called the Landlord.
Oh
my god, that was a choice.
And so if they ever get to like if they ever like create their own Space Force equivalent, there's gonna be a Space Lord.
Space Lord. I love it.
But all right, moving on. Welcome to the PUCL Podcast. PUCL, of course, stands for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, where we talk everything about the Pokemon franchise, from the video game to the trading card game to everything in between. And we're just here to just have a good time. So I usually ask you guys what you've been up to, but I have like a fun little anecdote from this week.
Hit me. I'm so excited.
Well, so everybody knows.
Wait. Hey, Thatch, what have you been up to?
Oh, hey, nobody ever asks.
Hey.
Nobody ever asks me that. You know what? Sublime's the first person I think in 15 years of recording this show to have asked me. And they're just always like, is Thatch? They're never like, how is Thatch? You know?
Why is Thatch?
What is Thatch up to?
No, but so as everybody knows, if they've been listening to the show in like the past 3 to 4 months, I've been slowly becoming indoctrinated into the TCG. Again, I need to put like the again qualifier because like I was into it, but I guess not as deep because like
it's like rediscovering your faith, but TCG.
Yeah, kind of. Like instead of faith, this time I have like real people money because I'm not a grad student.
Yeah, that's nice.
So like I could be like, yes, I would like to buy 3 copies of Arceus V-Star, and that does not bother me internally.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, right? So I've been getting into it. And so I've also been talking about how Seth and I guess now Shamu, are all going to Arlington Regionals.
Heck yeah!
In December, which is going to be honestly a lot of fun. But so I was just like, oh, well, you know, I'm just kind of curious about the rulings on like sleeves and stuff like that. So I decided I was going to try to find the tournament rules. So I looked at the tournament rules. I did eventually find like the modern ones, which is way harder than it should be, by the way. And also the rulings still aren't very clear on like sleeves and playmats or anything.
Oh.
If you literally like go into the official tournament rules and like you control F playmat, it comes up once and it's just for like, if you're on stream, you probably can't use your playmat. Like that's all it says.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only mention of playmat in the entire ruling thing.
That explains some of the ones I've seen. Goodness.
Yeah. That is the only mention of playmat, which I'm just like, that's a slippery slope.
That is.
Somebody should fix that.
Well, now that you've put it out there.
Yeah, we should fix that.
I'll get right on it.
Yeah, somebody is going to be like the guy at NAIC that brought the giant jumbo cards that made them insert the rule about not being able to use jumbo cards.
Yeah.
There will be somebody that makes that equivalent for playmats at some point, I am sure. But aside, in my search for it, I did accidentally stumble upon like older tournament rules. So old, in fact, that it actually like I got to the Wizards of the Coast like website archive.
Oh wow!
And so I had stumbled upon like the old WotC rules. For those of you who aren't in the Pokemon TCG, Wizards of the Coast, who owns Magic of the Gathering and now and technically D&D, used to own the Pokemon trading card game like way back in the day. Like if you have holographic Charizard, that was Wizards of the Coast, and whole history there about how they were like trying to use it just for feeder into Magic, and then Pokemon was like nope, and they yoinked it away from them.
Yep.
So either way, the old Wizards of the Coast rules, and man, was that some like a rabbit hole to go down. because they had so many rulings written down in that document because it was before the concept of rotation.
Oh.
So like every card was legal.
What is this, Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yes, it was honestly Yu-Gi-Oh. It was before Yu-Gi-Oh like really came out too. Because Yu-Gi-Oh didn't come out in the US. I will make that qualifier until like the early 2000s, and so Pokemon had like a few sets in before then, obviously. But like they had so many rules, it was insane in this document, and it definitely looks like it was just updated like right before like Pokemon went yoink and took it away.
Yeah,
because they had rulings for, I kid you not, like the Ancient Mew card, because they actually considered it playable.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Which I was just like, what?
Hey, why is the back of that card on top of your deck different?
No. You had to play sleeves. You had to play sleeves. If you used it. That was part of the ruling.
Yeah.
That was part of the ruling. You had to play with non-transparent sleeves.
Okay.
Also, Ancient Mew is a different card than regular Mew. So you could play 4 Mews and 4 Ancient Mews. I don't know who's doing this, by the way, because I don't think Ancient Mew is a particularly good card. But
it's a pretty card.
It is a pretty card.
This is the jumbo card type feel.
Yeah.
Someone's going to use it for the sake of using it.
But like it had gotten to the point where like people had definitely used it. So like they were talking about translations and stuff. Because it was back then, I think it was mostly kids playing, obviously. And like you had the cool cards, so you'd put it in your deck, right?
And there were only 14 cards available. So one of them is Ancient Mew.
There were more than 14.
One of them's Bulbasaur.
Okay, yeah. 18 maybe.
Yeah. But it was it was like a wild thing. And then like they had so many rulings for so many individual cards because it was getting messy, obviously. And like that's part of the reason like rotation happens and stuff like that. I mean, you look at the rule set now for Expanded.
Yeah.
And it's just so much more ridiculous because they have to ban things in and out. And it's disgusting. It's just disgusting. And to be fair, I think Pokemon also realizes that and they're kind of trying to phase it out without telling anybody.
Oh no, not Expanded. That
I know.
Healthy, relevant metagame.
The one where you have to buy cards from over a decade ago.
Just redefine it. We don't need X and Y, or we don't need black and white in Expanded.
Move it up.
Yeah, move it up a bit.
They really should, like, quote unquote, rotate Expanded, but I don't disagree with that. I just don't think it's a relevant format at all. I mean, you look at all the regionals that are scheduled for this year anyway, none of them are expanded.
Well, I mean, if you keep adding to Expanded, it's basically just slim, like, unlimited. Like,
Yes, no, it is. It's really bad.
Unlimited minus.
Yeah. They should probably just, like, chop
Some
it.
limited.
But I thought that was a fun little story, like, finding, like, the Wizards of the Coast rulings and, like, just
really
how
cool.
ridiculous it was. Ugh. I just thought it was really cute. And honestly, you two are the ones that would appreciate that nonsense.
Because we're old enough to.
Well, one, you're old enough to, and like you also play enough Pokemon TCG to know how ridiculous it is. In terms of sleeves, though, and like the modern rules, all they say is like transparent. I'm actually kind of bummed by them a little bit because they don't let you use art sleeves unless they're like Pokemon art sleeves, and I can kind of understand why. But I feel like Pokemon just needs to be like, hey, if you have a playmat or sleeves with lewd content on it as determined by the tournament organizers / judges, you could be banned.
It's less that and more with art sleeves. It's really easy to put a little tiny mark on it that only you know where it is.
I see.
Like if you put a tiny Sharpie dot
with the complex design on the back.
I see. Yeah. I see. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, Seth. If you're going to go through all that work, I'll let you have it. Like, if you're going to teach yourself Braille / Morse code to do that,
just spray them all with different perfumes.
Thatch, I can write in Elvish.
I know you can, Seth. You're a lord.
I don't think there's a rule about that.
You're a lord. Of course you can write.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. I'll show you my card next time I see you.
Oh, but yeah, that was some fun stuff I did this week. I was just like, I just want to like get prepped for the tournament and kind of keep getting myself hyped for it. Well, like I've been kind of prepping for it, by like playing decks and everything, and trying to find out what I like and what I don't like and what I can play competently and what I can't. And I've been having a lot of fun with that, obviously, but like the real training begins like once Silver Tempest drops next week.
Prepare yourself for Lugia. God.
Yeah, it's just gonna. Well, I think the question for me, honestly, once this drops, is like, which of one of these 3 decks am I gonna play?
Yeah.
And none of them exist well, one of them exists right now, mostly. And the other two just aren't here yet until Silver Tempest drops. So, like, yeah, it's going to be that. It's going to be like, yeah, do I play Lugia? Do I play Mew? Or do I play Regieleki? And because I think one of those will give me the best. And the answer is probably I'm either probably going to just play Lugia or give up and play Mew.
Gosh, yeah.
And just go Burr.
Those are good choices, honestly.
I think they are. I think they're all good choices because, like, Mew doesn't get bonked as hard by Lugia compared to other decks.
It's got more than 280.
It's got more than 280 HP, so, like, it could be okay. It could survive a thing, maybe.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Because, like, the answer is, like, I'm just going to go, like, real hard into prep for that.
Yeah.
Once Silver Tempest properly drops, and you can play it on PTCGO, I will just go hard. I will just go hard into Silver Tempest prep.
Shamu and I are going to get Drago to work. Gosh dang it.
I mean, I don't think Drago won't work. I think it has consistency issues.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it just has consistency issues.
Shamu will make whatever he wants to work.
He will, though.
He will find the dumbest thing in the TCG and be like, that's the one.
Like his stupid Kecleon that I love so much.
The Kecleon is fun. But, all right. I've rambled enough. I apologize for not giving you guys the hours to discuss all of your crazy stuff.
Well, we wanted to know about you because we can...
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. All right. So, on that note, we do have some news to talk about. So, let's kick it on over to the news and cue that epic music.
Live from the Lavender Town Radio Tower. This just in.
And welcome to the news. We've got a few things in the news. First of all, and the most exciting news, I guess, is that Graveyard is a ghost dog Pokemon that was announced this week, which was kind of cute.
That was
It's cute.
And then they did like their cute little video series. I'm a little upset that like the video thing that they did was straight up just exactly what they did for Hisuian Zoroark. For Paul Dia.
Which is fine.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I just, like, you know, originality points, like, not there, but it was fine. It was fine. I wasn't upset about it particularly. Like, Graveyard's very cute, and it's a Pokemon. He's got the ability Pickup because giving him a good ability would have made him too adorable.
Well, I assume that means you can get him pretty early, because why would you want Pickup if it wasn't, you know?
So what does early mean now at this point? You know what I mean? Like,
fair.
Yeah. Okay, based on how open it is, let's say this. Can you obtain it within, like, the first couple of hours?
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, there also is, I assume they're going to add in the catch rate formula that they had in Gen 8, which is something that I don't think a lot of people know about. Where like the catch rate formula in Gen 8, they actually have it so if the Pokemon that you have in the active spot is a lower level than the wild Pokemon, the catch rate is significantly lower. It's really bad because like I learned about it in Gen 8 in BDSP actually. Because like I had encountered a shiny Glalie and I was like, oh man, I gotta catch the shiny Glalie. And so I went in to try to catch it, and like I had a Pokemon, the shiny Glalie was like level 48, and the Pokemon I had in the active was like level 47 because it was like one of the lower level things I was trying to do. And I'm chucking ball after ball. I'm like, why won't I get in the freaking ball? You know, like the catch rate calculator, like I pulled one up. It's like, it should be like 30-40%. But then I didn't realize in the Gen 8, there's just like, I skipped over like the little checkbox, like, is the Pokemon lower level than the wild? And like, once you do that, it drops like an order of magnitude almost.
Wow.
It's pretty bad. I mean, that's how they like prevent you from trying to catch Pokemon that are like way crazy higher level than your current party.
So
I assume that's a requirement for an open world Pokemon game so that you can't catch something super busted super early. But that's just Thatch's thing. But yeah, Graveyard is Greavard. I think
it's Greavard, right? I don't know.
Greavard. He's a ghost type Pokemon. I assume Litwick's not in this game because they made his head just a Litwick.
I assume it is because I want something that's not just a mono ghost dog. That's not.
I hope he evolves. I hope he evolves into something. I would be a little bummed if it's a Ghost Fire because we already got a Ghost Fire announced, and we just got like Ghost Fire.
I'm gonna use that Ghost Fire too. It looked cool. Get it, Mega Man.
Yeah,
pretend Mega Man.
I know.
Yeah.
No, that's Proto Man. Proto Man, I think, is the ghost one.
you're right.
Proto-
Mega Man is the ghost or the psychic?
He's the psychic one.
Oh, so
Mega
Proto
Man's
the ghost. Okay.
Yeah. Same thing, though.
You know.
But Grievard just likes to go and play with people, it says. And it's like the same Honedge type thing where everybody's going to be like, I play with my Grievard and I love it. But like the Pokedex entry says that this is direct from the page.
It's what happened
Grievard
to Old Yeller.
And inadvertently absorb the life force of those around it, so it's best not to play with it too much.
It's going to be something like that, yeah.
It's going to be just like all the drawings that you see, like all the fan art of people like wielding Honedge, you know? Where the Pokedex entry is like, it wraps a scarf around your arm, and then it sucks your life away.
Maybe if it likes you, it won't.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's Grievard. It's like, I like that we're getting like these cute, like one Pokemon drops here and there.
They've realized they don't have to do 4 at a time.
Well, I think
people are hungry for just anything at a time.
They should have been doing more of this over the summer. Like, give us like a little bit over the summer.
I just
know
hate
that
they don't reveal like the evolutions until after it's out. I'm like, what?
I think they should at least do mid stage. We should get mid stage.
Yes, and you should give a hint of what they'll be.
Make us starve.
No, I like mid stage because it almost gets you there, but like then you can see the direction it's going.
Yeah, you get excited to speculate. Well, what will it be after that? Yeah.
Could you imagine if they would have revealed Drizzile before they revealed Inteleon?
Right.
Like, that would have been crazy. Okay.
No one would have picked it.
I probably
did. Anybody pick it anyway?
I did.
I hate the Galar starters. Sorry.
All of them are actually pretty bad.
I hate
not as bad as
starters.
Gen 2.
Like,
but...
yeah.
Whoa, Seth, we're gonna have to have a boxing match in December. Whoa! Don't slander for Alligator like that. We can talk about Meganium, okay?
Poor Meganium.
We can talk about.
You know what? Meganium had her moment because she got to be in the new Pokemon Snap in a big way.
That's true,
and that's as much of a moment as that Pokemon deserves.
To be fair, Meganium was one of the Pokemon that should have gotten retconned with Fairy type.
Yes, actually, I made it a fairy type Mega Evolution in my campaign. Seth will tell you.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I think Meganium deserves fairy type.
Yeah.
But justice for Meganium. And also, moves. It should also get moves. But moving on. Next piece of news.
Yeah, sure.
Talk about it, Seth.
So they've been giving out a handful of mythical Pokemon again for your Sword and Shield copies, and Marshadow codes should be available at Target in the U.S. I forget where internationally the code is available.
I think it was GameStop internationally for all of them, because I think they were doing all 3, and they came out earlier, actually, than they did in the U.S., so they already had it a month ago.
Yeah, and I believe the Volcanion and Genesect giveaway is now up. So can't get those at GameStop anymore. But Marshadow is available at Target, so head there, folks.
Target. Actually, Target's nice. I like Target. You know what they don't do?
Better than GameStop.
Yeah, they don't ask you to pre-order video games when you go to Target. All right. Well, tell us about the TCG Sublime. This is actually kind of exciting.
Yeah, the upcoming Japanese set is V-Star Universe has art rares and special art rares, according to a document from Worlds. So we're expecting one last very special Sword and Shield set early next year. And that'll be pretty.
Yeah, I think it's January is going to be... This is like Sword and Shield 12.5. So
thank God they're not dropping them as dumb Trainer Gallery in Scarlet Violet. I hate that.
Yeah, no, that's very true. The Trainer Gallery, I think, is good in its own way in that, like, you get more hits. I do think as a competitive player, it's bad.
Make it in its own set, please. Get rid of the rainbow rares and replace them with specials. Thank you.
They should get rid of rainbow rares. Though I do have to say that I think the rainbow rares at the end of the Sword and Shield block have been very good. In some of them, specifically the Palkia, Dialga, and Giratina ones are okay. Because they actually like took time instead of just like putting like a rainbow filter on everything. They like actually colored things different colors. So like those look fine. The ones that look, but I think you can just look at like the secondhand market and know that nobody likes rainbow rares.
Yeah, please. Just replace Trainer Gallery, replace Rainbow Rare with Trainer Gallery, and stop giving me stuff from the original Sword and Shield set in my booster packs for the last set of the generation, please. Thank you.
To be fair, it's not taking up like the rare slot. It's only taking up the reverse holo slot.
It's taking up a slot. And I need things.
You shouldn't be buying booster packs.
I know, but the few that I buy, I want them to actually be stuff from the set. I'm tired of getting old stuff when I would rather have a rainbow.
Well, then you think we buy
Cramorant.
It's like he said.
I know.
We just need proper character rares. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care about anything but full arts. I'm going to be completely honest. Like, some alt arts are fine, but the prices always get, like, way out of hand. And usually, especially with this latest batch, like, the full arts are great. It's not like they were in Sun and Moon, which I still like, with the solid colors and the pattern textures. But, like, the latest ones are pretty cool. Like, Kira MV's full art, really nice. It's, like, purple with, like, crystals for the ice. Really great. The only one I don't really like are, like, the Crobat and the Luminion. And that's mostly because I see them all the time, but also it's got yellow. It's also got, like, a big yellow color in it, and yellow is, like, nobody's favorite. Yeah. And so it doesn't look that great.
A million Pikachu fans just got very angry.
Who's a Pikachu? Like, I think we've just all accepted that Pikachu's a popular Pokemon and that nobody's like, Pikachu's my favorite.
I think a lot of people would disagree with that.
Pikachu fans come at me in the comments / emails. come for me. But yeah, that's I've seen like previews of this new set and I'm very excited for it.
Very pretty.
Yeah, it's gonna be really nice. I'll get an ETB at least. Pokemon Go though, and I'm gonna switch it back to you, Seth.
Sure. So we got a little bit of Pokemon Go news, a little bit of a Pokemon Go bug that happened this week. On Tuesday, it was supposed to be that Zorua would spawn in the overworld in the shape of whatever your buddy Pokemon is. That flopped on Tuesday, but it's live now. So if you're playing Go and all of a sudden your buddy Pokemon is out next to you, even though you didn't feed it, tap it, because it's probably a Zorua. It should be fairly easy for me, because I think I've still got Giratina following me, so it's not like you'll just see those in the wall.
That's a clever idea. Put a legendary on your follower.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, Tina.
I think they're still missing Kecleon. My personal headcanon is that Kecleon's been in the game since Gen 3 was put in.
The entire time.
It's been in there the entire time. It's just nobody's like randomly tapped the screen in the right place where
exactly.
Kecleon was. That's my headcanon.
I like it. I believe it.
All right. Well, Sublime, finish us off.
Yeah. Well, it's Community Day on December.
It's a rerun
on the 5th.
Day.
Yeah, on November 5th. Yeah. It's a rerun, so if you didn't have Dragonite, I guess go get it. That's so old I have it, and I stopped playing years ago.
I mean, I think it was the second Community Day. It was Tratini.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm for it because that happened like 5 years ago.
And it's a strong one, so
right.
Yeah, get into it.
So I think it's worth it for people who are
Does anyone
just
remember
like
what move it
game.
gets?
I think it got Draco Meteor
there you go.
last time.
Well, that's a strong move, so go do that.
Yeah, it's worthwhile. It's definitely worthwhile. All right, and we'll finish off the news like we have been with Puckle's Pokey prediction. What side game sees the addition of a Pokemon from Paldea first? In terms of like, do we see like a Paldean Pokemon in Pokemon Go, Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Masters, which is I guess still a game, Pokemon Quest, which is only in China, getting updates in China, etc. My personal opinion is we will probably see it come back. We'll probably see it in Go.
I agree.
Like, that's my bold
It's
prediction.
going to be
like,
Go, then Unite, then Masters. Because, oh my god, Masters was slow to add Galar, so I assume they'll be slow to add Paldea.
Yeah, I think Go will do it.
And with Unite, we just, with leaks, we know what's coming so far ahead of time.
Yeah, I think Go will just see, like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised on, like, release weekend if Go is just, like, straight up, hey, in raids right now, we've got Miraidon and Koraidon.
Yeah, you know. Right.
No, they wouldn't put the starters in.
I could see them putting the starters.
Then they'd evolve.
They haven't done the Gen 8 starters yet.
Oh, well then never mind. I stopped playing years ago.
Yeah, so they'll just do like Miraidon and Koraidon and just be like, hey, get excited.
Or you know what? The first Galarian Pokemon to come were the variants, so maybe you'll get Wooper.
Oh, that's true. We might get Wooper actually. I could see that.
Oh yeah.
I could see Paldea and Wooper coming.
Oh my god, y'all remember that one Community Day where right after the Community Day, was it Meltan was first revealed? That was wild.
Yeah.
That was wild. Maybe it'll be like that.
Never thought it was a bug. Gosh, that's still my favorite Pokemon reveal ever.
It was a really good Pokemon reveal. I just hate the way that they've handled Meltan since.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, I hate that you can't evolve Meltan in a Pokemon game that isn't Pokemon Go. I really dislike that. I think if you have a Pokemon form in a game, and it has an evolution, it should be allowed to evolve in whatever game it is in.
Yeah.
I do not think evolution should be game locked, though Game Freak may disagree with me. But I do not believe that Pokemon evolution should
The
be
Hisuian
game locked.
Pokemon would like to have a word with you.
I mean, also Sylveon and BDSP, but that's a different question.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing itself too. I don't think we can do that though. I think it's ridiculous to like lock Pokemon out of their evolution.
What was it in like Gen 3, the remake? So Crobat is trying to evolve, but it can't.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I mean, but to be fair, at least it was there later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least it was there later. I don't know.
But still, that
I still
sentence.
think it's dumb. If they do that, if Fargraf is stuck in Paldea, so help me God, Game Freak, I'm coming for you. Like, oh, I think I said it wrong. Farigiraf, like refrigerator giraffe.
For refrigerator.
I'm naming mine Perry, after Perry the Fridge.
Perry the Farigger. Oh.
Perry the Fridge from the 1985 Chicago Bears.
Yes, that very memorable thing.
Yeah. Good choice.
Yes. If you grew up in the Chicago area, you know his legend. It's fine. All right.
All right.
So on that note, on that very Pokemon note, we're going to go ahead and kick it on over to Puckle's Poke Quiz, where we're going to quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge.
Hello and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz your co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Professor Snag with the rules. The co-hosts are working together as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that you, the listeners, have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The hosts can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct without using the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
And welcome to Puckle's Poke Quiz. We've got, thank you for that introduction, by the way, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Our first question is going to come to you from Lark Winnigan. I assume this is just Shark, but we gave him a different name.
On a lark.
Lark Winnigan. Normal flying is the most common dual type, with 27 Pokemon. What's the next most common dual type?
Oh. Okay.
Part of me wants to say water poison. There's like so many water poisons. Or water flying's pretty common too.
What? Water?
Okay.
No. There's 27 of that of the first one.
I will tell you there's 15 of the next. It makes you
15
feel
of
better.
the next?
Yeah.
That
There's a
kind
hard
of is
drop off.
helpful.
There's a hard drop
Yeah,
off.
I mean, it's the most common for a reason. For sure.
Okay. The first one that comes to mind, just because of Gen 1
A lot of rocks
shenanigans,
common
is
too.
Grass Poison.
Grass poison, there are surprisingly not that many of.
Bulbasaur,
Most of them
Vileplume,
is the
Victory
thing.
Bell,
Most of them are Gen 1.
Roserade line.
And then Amoonguss, and that's like... What came after Amoonguss?
Honestly, that sounds like it adds up to 15.
Does it?
A lot of those are 3-stage.
Okay.
Bulbasaur has 3.
Yeah, I think I might be
Victory Bell has 3.
only thinking of like final evolutions when I think of grass poisons, and I'm like, that is surprisingly few.
Yeah.
But if we're counting all of them, that might be it, because you've got like 9 from Gen 1 alone.
Yeah. And
then the
like you
Roserade
said,
line,
the Roserade
12,
line is another 3.
13,
the
14
Amoonguss line is
Amoonguss. If we
2.
can think of one more, that would be 15. So it must be that. Unless, well, what is that last one then? Dang. I can't think of another one.
I'm going to need an answer here.
I guess grass poison, but I want to know what the 15th one is.
I feel like it's a safe one. It might be that like Budew is pure
No,
grass. and
Budew
we're
is
throwing-
grass
and we're just missing a
poison.
line entirely. Is
yeah.
it? Okay. I'm safe throwing it out there. I can't think of another combo.
That's valid.
Grass Poison is correct with 15 members. I don't have the list of them in front of me, unfortunately.
dang it.
I've got a list of the next most common dual types, though. Next is a Bug Flying with 14. Poison
yeah.
Bug follows that up with 13. Grass Ghost with 12.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a ton.
And when we got the Delmise, I'm like, another one.
Yeah.
Here's
then-
another one. I love
and-
that typing.
And then Water Rock with
Yeah,
11.
there's a lot of water rocks. That was
Yeah.
one of my
A lot
considerations.
of fossils.
Yeah.
A lot of fossils.
Yep.
And,
All right.
The one with all the hands.
Biberical.
Barbarical,
Biberical, yeah.
They get around.
All right, so you guys are 1 for 1. Your next question is going to come to you from Sleeve. If a Rotom form, such as a Rotom Heat, only knows a move that cannot be learned by base form Rotom, such as Overheat, what move will it know when it reverses back to the base form?
Thundershock, final answer, in my opinion. Any questions, Sublime?
Was it not Thunderbolt or Thunder?
I'm pretty sure it's Thundershock.
I think you're probably right, because you could know Thunderbolt or Thunder and Heat Wave, and then what do you do?
Yeah.
Thundershock is correct. Because, you can just learn Thunderbolt as a Rotom form.
Rotom's on my chart. I know it.
It's your astrological sun.
All right. You are 2 for 2. Your next question is your Pokedex entry, as always. This one is going to come to you from Bionic Why Not? Its Pokemon Crystal entry reads, as soon as it rains, it closes its flower and hides in the shade of a tree to avoid getting wet. Who's that Pokemon?
That very much sounds like something a Sunflora would do.
That makes sense, because it's Sun Flora, not Rain Flora.
Precisely. Yeah. Not Rain Flora. We want to go for it? Sunflora, final answer.
Sunflora is incorrect. We'll give you the second entry.
Okay.
Rainflora.
It's not
dang
Rain
it.
Flora.
Okay.
It's Sun Flora.
Turns out it is
Oh
Rain
my god,
Flora.
Rain Flora, how could you?
Its Fire Red entry reads,
Oh lord, okay.
it spreads its petals to absorb sunlight. It also floats in the air to get closer to the sun.
Okay.
So like one of the jump
Alright.
up ones.
Yeah, and the only one with an actual flower
Skiploom?
is Skiploom.
Right, yeah.
So,
Skiploom,
boom, that one.
Skiploom is correct. You guys are 3 for 3. Yay.
Dang it. I guess
Oh,
closing
it's
its flower for a
Skiploom, not
Sunflora would be like
Driploom.
shutting its
There
face.
you go.
Drip.
All right, your next question is your multiple answer question. You can get up to 3 points here. You are going to go ahead and get... there are 4 answers to this question. You can get 1 point for each answer. If you get all 4, you can pat yourselves on the back. What are the only baby Pokemon to be introduced at the same time as its immediate evolution, or as an immediate evolution?
And as
that
an
Pokemon.
immediate evolution, an immediate evolution.
And immediate
Like in the
evolution.
same gen.
Like in the same gen.
so-
Okay, because
like a
like,
baby Pokemon.
not-
Pidgeot came out at the same time as Roserade,
That
but
doesn't count.
Roselia
I
came
think that
out before.
yes.
Yeah.
That was
yes,
what I
so
was
that
like.
wouldn't count.
That one was I was
I
curious
think that's
about.
I think that's the only reason the qualifier is there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said there's 4, correct?
There are 4.
Well, if they were
yes.
released at the
there are
same
4.
time, how can you qualify it as a baby?
Because they
So-
can't breed.
Okay, it's
they
a
can't breed on their
non-breedable
own.
thing. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
So
that's,
I know 2 just right off the bat. That is Riolu
you do have to lock
and
them in.
oh my god, what does Toxtricity evolve from?
Toxel.
Toxel.
Toxel. Yeah, Toxel. Oh, of course. Toxel.
Both
Yeah,
of those are
2 are babies.
both of those are correct.
Okay.
There are 2 more. You only need 1 more for the
Technically-
win.
Technically Tyrogue, because it was
That's
introduced
true.
at the same time as Hitmontop.
That's yeah.
Tyrogue is correct. There is 1 more. If you have it now, if not, I will give it to you.
Let's think. Let's think.
Cosmog.
I was gonna say just Cosmog counts.
No,
Can't breed, introduced at the same time.
no. The answer is actually Togepi. Togepi is
Oh, yeah,
classified
yeah,
as a baby Pokemon.
Oh yeah, because it evolved
For sure.
when they introduced it. Yeah,
into Togetic. Togetic, yep. So there you go. You guys got 3 points there. You are 6 for 4. You guys are cruising. You haven't even used the hint yet, so you're good to go. Your next question is your base stat question, as always. This is gonna. They're both about ghost types because tomorrow or Monday is Halloween.
Yeah.
When we
Yes.
launch.
the best holiday of the year.
Let's see. So they're both about ghost types. Let's see. Which one do you want? We're gonna let you.
Ghost type has the highest spooky stat.
I'm going to go with the one from Farmer Fox and ask, which ghost type has the lowest base speed of all ghost types?
Why they gotta do the
Slow
lowest
boy.
though?
Slow
That's
ghost boy.
rude.
They were both the lowest. I can't tell if you're there. The other one was lowest special defense. You know what? I'll let you today because I just told you both of them. If you give me both answers, I'll give you like bonus point.
Ooh.
Get
Lowest
9. This is
special
Thatch's
defense
game. This is
or
Thatch's
speed?
game. There are no rules.
Incidentally,
There are no rules.
I don't know the speed, but I think I do know special defense. We played with it last night.
Okay,
Seth.
good.
I think Shedinja has
Did
like
we?
trash across the board, like real bad. Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. Unless there's some like garbage first stage or something. What are some slow ghost boys? Delmise comes to mind because I think it's got like 30 or 40
But
speed.
it's one of those non-evolving Pokemon, so I'm curious if there's like some itty-bitty,
Exactly.
slow boy.
Some
or
munchlax
girl.
of a
Yeah,
ghost or something like that. Can we cash in the
Yeah,
hint?
let's cash in the hint now. I mean,
Okay,
we don't need
sure.
it.
Because we got an incorrect question, so haha.
Did you get an incorrect question?
We got the dex entry wrong, unless
No, you
that
got-
doesn't-
well, you got it.
You get
You
it
did
on
get it
the
right after the
second
hint. Yeah.
Or on the second
Oh,
entry.
so you can. Oh,
Yeah, that counts.
Never mind. Well then, I don't know if I want to use the hint anymore.
Yeah, you can get like 9 points today. I'm offering you an exclusive
Yeah.
chance at 9 points that we're not going to tell
Okay.
anybody else about.
Yeah. There's no baby ghosts. Okay, so that's out.
But
Each
if you go for
slash is
9,
like
you got to
50.
get both. You got to get both.
You got to get both. Yeah.
Right now, we're going for like.
Oh wait, Mega Sablei's like 20 or something real dumb.
20's real low.
Because I remember running speed EVs on Mega Sableye to outrun Ferrothorn. I think. So that's definitely like in the running right now. Because they took out all of its speed because it's holding that giant gem to put it in its defenses. So Mega Sableye for speed, I think. And then what was yours for special defense?
I think
Shedinja?
Shedinja. Yeah.
I'm down with it. I feel like there's probably a more fragile one just by stats. Shedinja's deceptive because of the weirdness of it.
Yeah, that's why it probably is a very good... Like, why couldn't we have lowest HP for Ghost? We got that.
Yeah, easy. Had to rewrite the formula for that guy. I'm good with those two.
You're locking both of those in for speed and special defense?
Yeah.
I think so. Why not? YOLO.
You've only got one of them, unfortunately. So you guys get 7 points today. But
Which one did we get?
you do. The one you got was special defense, which is Shedinja. Shedinja's
crumbs.
base special defense is 30. And the next lowest is actually Aegislash in his blade form with 50.
Yeah,
And then Driftblim comes after that at 54.
that makes sense.
And I guess this is for fully evolved ghost type Pokemon as well. But it's
well,
actually
that kinda
tied still for the
matters.
low.
Yeah.
It was fully evolved, but it's still the lowest anyway total. It's actually tied with Dreepy for lowest at 30.
Wow.
In terms of slowest though, slowest is actually Sandy Gast with 15.
Oh.
Mega Sableye is number 2 with 20, but
Dang.
it's also tied with Litwick at 20. And
I don't
then,
feel bad for missing that.
And then Duskull and Dusclops are at 25.
Wait, if that one wasn't fully evolved,
No, that one wasn't
But-
fully evolved. The other one was.
but
it
the other
doesn't
one
matter.
was what?
That didn't matter because Shedinja's still a correct answer.
What kind of garbage is this?
We still got the point.
Oh,
we still
right.
got the point.
You still got 7.
and we
You
didn't
guys
use
still
the
got
hint.
7.
And we didn't use the hint.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's I mean it's enough to make the standings different than they were last week.
Yeah.
So we're going to sort the sheet. In first place we've got Seth Vilo with 13 points in the race to
Heck
40.
yeah.
And then we've got Linian in second with 12. In third place we've got Mark with 8. In fourth we've got Sublime with 7. And in a I think 5-way tie for fifth, we've got Claude9, R Sigma, Jushiro, Shark, and Whimsicott with 6 apiece. Everybody else has yet to get on the board.
Get on my level.
Yep. And on that note, we are going to go ahead and kick it on over to the topic. But if you want more Puckle's Poke Quiz, best way to do it is tune in next week, or you can join our Patreon where we've got a ton, or not a ton, but we've got exclusive Patreon game corners over there. So definitely check those out. But yep, until then, we're going to kick it on over to the topic. We have another iTunes review this week coming to you from a Treeboy212. Finally, 5 stars. Finally, a good Pokemon podcast with Pokemon nerds like me. I'm a lonely kid, and Pokemon doesn't give you many friends, unfortunately. I'm going to have to disagree with you there, Treeboy, but we appreciate the review. And if you want to drop us a review wherever you listen to the podcast, we would really appreciate it. It helps people find the show. But until then, on with the topic. And welcome to the topic. I think there hasn't been a better time for this topic,
Yeah.
other than like prior to a game release. Especially this year, because this is the first year that we've ever had a Pokemon game in like the quote-unquote mainline that was a game that didn't have a second version. So today we want to talk about Pokemon versions, if 2 versions of a game are actually what's necessary going forward. Or is it just like a vestige of the olden days?
It's also a really good week for it, honestly, because there was a lot of controversy or whatever, like questioning online from the Grievard reveal, because the girl in the video says she's from Naranja School specifically. So is Grievard a version exclusive that we don't know about yet?
If it is, y'all can have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good week for it, honestly, just because there's been a question this week.
I'm actually very surprised they haven't published version exclusives before the game's released. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, they have, because the Mega Man and Proto Man.
Mega Man and Pro.
But we all know that's not like the only version exclusive. Even then, they sometimes will version exclusive. Like if we go back to, let's go back to as recently as Sword and Shield. They've version exclusive Pokemon that existed before that, right? Not just like new Pokemon.
Sure.
Yeah.
A lot of Pokemon come in pairs very frequently.
Yes, well, kind of. I mean, they made new pairs.
Yeah, they do that too sometimes. And then they reuse it, yeah.
And there's kind of a ton of them. I'm looking at the sheet now. There's kind of a ton of version exclusives.
There were a ton. And the one that I was most upset about was Galarian Farfetch, by the way.
Yeah.
Because they were making that a version exclusive with Galarian Ponyta, which are both Pokemon that I like very synonymously see with Sword and Shield as games.
I thought it was paired more with Corsola because, you've got the B Alistair change.
Sure, we can say that. If you want to feel like that, you can do that.
I mean, but is it or is it not?
And then we could say Galarian Darmanitan is the version exclusive counterpart to Ponyta. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It was the ones that I was most upset about being version exclusive. I think both of them should exist in the same game.
Why?
Because I think they're two of my favorites.
So just because they're two of your favorites, they gotta be at the same game.
I'm biased. I'll be straightforward. I'm biased. I mean, they did try to version exclusive. It looks like Komo-o and Tyranitar, or even like Hydreigon.
Yeah, a couple of the pseudo legendaries were version exclusive.
Yeah, they tried to version exclusive those. Okay, so I think version exclusives, I like them because it forces you to trade and socialize a little bit. And I think that's one of the fun things about like being in PUCL, like when the game comes out, because a lot of us will be playing different versions and we can just like trade with each other real quick.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Which is fun. It's great. I really enjoy that. I think we can also get socialization though out of battling and stuff like that.
Sort of.
Which, I mean, it's better than like in PLA, right? Where everything's in the game. Yeah. And so there's really little reason to interact. They did have trading for whatever reason.
Because you got Gravelers and things,
But they actually made an item to get around that.
Yeah, but what if you don't want to spend your money on that item?
It's not that much, to be fair.
I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying the option exists.
That's true. But I still think it was kind of worthless in that game. I mean, I think trade-based evolutions, that's a fine way to do it too. I mean, you can still have like Scyther available in the game and then trade it with a metal coat and then you get your scissor, right?
Yeah.
I think that's very fair. I wouldn't be surprised like if they let Cleavor exist outside of Hisui, which I hope they do.
I do too.
I hope they do.
If they did it, I would be okay if it was also a trade evolution and it had to hold its dust item or whatever.
I'm fairly confident that the Hisui boys will make it out, but we'll see.
I think certain Hisui boys will make it out.
Yeah.
I don't think things like Hisuian Sliggoo and Hisuian Goudreau will be there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Stantler's in the game, Weirdeer needs to be there.
Yeah.
If Ursaring's in the game, Ursaluna needs to be there. If Basculin's there, I don't really care about Basculin, honestly, but like, but certain things like that. The Pokemon that when you get the TCG card doesn't say Hisuian Ursaluna or Hisuian Weirdeer on it, those are the Pokemon that need to be there. Okay? That is my criteria based on the Pokemon trading card game.
Okay.
Well, I think there's some truth to that because that's like the way they view certain Pokemon, right? Is if it's a regional or a not regional is based on the trading card to some extent.
Kinda. You kind of get a glimpse into what they're at least officially thinking.
Like how the Pokemon company like looks at these Pokemon. And I mean, yeah, there were a ton of version exclusives though in Sword and Shield. I mean, maybe we don't need that many. But I don't know that it's a necessity anymore. PLA sold really well.
Well, nothing's a necessity. It probably still increases sales, bottom line.
I guess so. It probably does. I haven't looked recently to see what the latest investors report said.
Especially for people who take the VGC seriously, if there's a lot of like legendary exclusives or things like that.
Yeah, well, we're not there yet.
But I'm just letting, like, that is definitely a factor for people to get both.
I assume that will come later on, probably in the lifespan of Scarlet and Violet and DLC.
Let's be real. They don't care about version. They'll just hack them in.
I'm not even just talking about, like, cover art legendaries. I think a great example would be Thundurus was huge from the, like, as soon as it came out.
Version doesn't matter to them. None of the Pokemon that these VGC people use are actually real.
Seth makes a good point, though. They'll just hack them in.
Well, in that case, we can just say version exclusives don't matter because you can just hack anything in.
The layman can't.
Not to the casual player. I do think hacking Pokemon, it's more and more difficult as time goes on, because like with a 3DS, very easy to hack every single 3DS that exists. You can take any 3DS right now, hack it. And that was pretty much the way it was the entirety of the 3DS line. The Switch, they've done so good at preventing people from doing it. It's amazing.
Honestly, yeah.
So one, you can only soft mod a Switch if it's the model prior to like July 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you just like look at products that exist as well, like Game Sharks or their equivalent exist for 3DS, but they don't exist for the Switch. Like you can't buy a cheating device like you could back in the day for the Switch. So it's not nearly as accessible. So I guess this is also an argument against you to some extent, Seth.
Sort of.
I know there are a lot of legitimate VGC players out there too.
Plenty, but, you know, there's the guy on Twitter who will...
And they, like, listen, like, if you're traveling to a bunch of VGC events, buying a game twice is not gonna break the bank.
I agree with you.
They've done the recent thing where they make the VGC winning team or whatever a rental that's legal.
Yes.
And they just take the data, and the guy, who is it? I forget who it is on Twitter, but one of the...
It's Kurt. It's Kurt Kafonic at Kaphonics. He's the guy who actually makes PK Hex, yeah.
Yeah, and he'll go in and hack check all of them, and like 90% of all of them are completely illegitimate. Like, he can tell by the data. So... Yeah,
he can usually tell. My favorite was the... So the guy who won, what is it called? That won Worlds. He took a look at his team. His team, except for one Pokemon, was completely legitimate. The one Pokemon he used, though, was from a giveaway that, like, one of the... I don't know what to call Anubis, but she's one of, like, the higher-ups in, like, that group.
Yeah.
And she actually does a lot of development on, like, Sysbot, which is the bot trading program software that you can use with the modded Switch, which is what we use for our distributions. She did that, and she actually like did a giveaway of her own bot, and it was literally that exact Calyrex Shadow Rider or something like that he was using. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah,
to see that.
As far as I guess back to version things, the one thing that I also want to throw out too, I guess it's kind of, I apologize, I'm pushing the topic forward, but
yeah.
Especially in recent gens, I was looking back while we were discussing the hacking at like the previous couple of generations to just kind of get an idea in my head of what version exclusives there are. And, you know, there's actually a lot more than just the Pokemon.
Oh.
That's what I was going to say is like, yeah, there can be other reasons to make different versions. I think the easiest example is Black and White gave you an entirely different town.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that was kind of shallow though. Like, was White City and or Black City?
It was, but it's starting.
Okay, that was my example. Not saying it was right, but there's, like, for instance, you're getting different professors this time, and different, like, university schools.
I think they have to, because if they did like the old school, if they did like a Diamond and Pearl difference nowadays, I think it would just go over so poorly.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people who chose their version for this upcoming Gen 9 based on the professor.
Honestly, yeah. And, like, even some of the gym leaders.
I'm not answering that question.
Because he can get it. Okay? Because he can get it. Okay?
In Sword and Shield, we had the B. Alistair thing that I mentioned earlier. We also had the...
I don't know that I was a fan of that one, particularly, to be fair.
It's neat.
Neat.
Enough. It kind of makes it so the worlds are different. And if every Pokemon's on its own timeline now, if every game's on its own timeline.
I like the idea that it showed in Sword and Shield specifically, that it's a league that they refresh the gym leaders every year to see like which ones are like the major league gym leaders.
Yeah.
And like in Sword and Shield, they were obviously different in some capacity. Do you wish that they could have just shown it differently and actually like let us see like the minor league gym leaders?
Mm-hmm.
We can battle them, but we don't get badges. You know what I mean? Like, I think that would have been cute as a way to show it off. You don't get the Dynamax, you could just have fun. I mean, they kind of already did it in Scarlet and Violet from what we've heard from the previews.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely doable for them to do something like that. But that's not anything to do with version exclusives. I just personally didn't like it entirely. I would have liked it if Bay and Alistair were like still in the other game respectively, and maybe they were like we're working on being the gym,
but they weren't the gym leader. Yeah,
they're just a character you could talk to.
I would have appreciated that a little bit more.
That would have been cool.
The other thing that also upsets me about it is, like, they have the Galar Star tournament at the end, right? And you can't use, like, if I'm playing Shield, I can't use Bae or Bia.
Yeah, no, because she's a sword exclusive, yeah.
Yeah, because she's a sword exclusive, but I would like her characters to still exist in the other game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, then go play sword.
Well, then go play some.
See, I think that's a bad answer. Sublime.
Well, like, if they wanted one game, like, I don't know, it gives different experiences so you can compare and contrast. I think even if you're not trading, it adds a lot to the social dimension of talking about Pokemon games, right?
I do. I just think it would have been really cool to... what's even more frustrating is, like, the gym puzzles weren't any different either.
No.
Yeah.
They should have made the gym puzzles different. It's such a minor change that they could have done.
I don't know. What about if you could choose with the same way you choose the Reggie, right? What if there were multiple choices and you could kind of, like...
I think that's the best way to do it.
Make your own unique version of, like, multiple...
I do like that.
It's the same way you choose one fossil, you know? When they offer you the two in the original.
Yeah.
I think that's the right way to do it. I actually talked to Sigma about this, like, maybe a month ago. He brought up the good way to do it would be to just base it on starter choice, even.
Oh.
Which would effectively create 3 versions, granted. So, like, maybe it's not the best solution.
This ain't 3 houses.
This ain't 3.
3.5 houses.
I don't know. I think it's a good answer so that, like, you just have one Pokemon game, but it has replayability because you play with a different starter, so you get a different set of Pokemon.
Well, unless they made it instantly, like, seamless with, like, the banking system, because...
You can do it now with different profiles on your Switch if you really want.
I do agree with Sublime. It is difficult to use home in that capacity then.
I tell you what, you guys can make fun of me as much as you want, but if I had to play through Scarlet and Violet looking at that hideous orange crest on the school the whole game instead of the beautiful, cool colored purple one.
That's right. Get Team UFO. That's what's up.
I would lose my mind. Like, the aesthetics, the general atmosphere seems better for me, a maniac who likes cool colors, in Violet than it does in Scarlet.
If they do that again, by the way, and they lock me out of clothes based on version Sun and Moon, I am going to be so upset.
Oh, they absolutely are, because you wear your uniform the whole time.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you have character customization.
No, you can.
You have character customization, but have you seen any character customization where they're not wearing the uniform?
No, but that's because they're doing their thing.
Yeah, because you go to the school.
They have lots, though.
They have a lot. They have a lot of like, this is like the most character customization we've ever had in a Pokemon game.
Yeah, and I suspect, I hope to be wrong, but my assumption is you're wearing the uniform through all of it.
I better not be wearing that garbage uniform the entire game.
I don't think your assumption is correct. I'm fairly positive your assumption's not right.
I would love to be wrong, but I'm suspecting it is.
It's what we're seeing now because it's just like, this is the version, so...
I think that's it. They didn't show a lot of the clothes in the other ones, in the other game previews before either. Like in X and Y, they barely did it, and they barely did it in... like, they showed character customization off in X and Y, I think, by showing, like, you can choose your skin color.
Well, that was a bigger deal for other reasons, obviously.
No, I do agree with that. I'm not saying it's not a big deal, but that's all they ever did to show off character customization in other games before.
I do hope I get my hideous plaid suit back, though.
But yeah, but like, not just the, like, the aesthetic, like, not just the crappy city they added in Black and White, but, like, there was that route, where you see work being done, and then, you have Iris's city is either super, like, modern in New World, or super old world.
Yes, that's true.
And, like, give me more, like, aesthetic choice about it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Like, if we're already making 2 separate games with nominal differences, add more. Make them more distinct in more ways.
I don't disagree with you. I'm hoping that Scarlet and Violet do that. I mean, I feel like
they are.
I would have liked to see a game where you do just go ahead and just, like, make selections like the Reggies were in Crown Tundra. I think that was, in terms of Regidrago and Regieleki, I should say, because you can get the other Reggies entirely. But I really like the idea that you can just, like, pick which Pokemon you want. Like, you could, like, literally just present me, like, a red and a blue pill, right, option, and I just choose which one I want, and then those are the Pokemon that are locked away from me. Especially without them, like, without them publishing it beforehand. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna hate it, like, when I get the game, and they're just like, hey, you can't get, like, you can't catch, what is it in this game? I don't know. Like, they'll be like, you can't catch Paldean and Wooper for some reason, Thatch.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, but I didn't know. And they're like, yeah, you weren't supposed to. Ha ha.
Too bad.
Gotcha. Got him.
But I'm curious how, and we kind of saw a little bit of this in Sword and Shield. I'm curious how the more developed multiplayer is going to change the version exclusivity.
I really like the way Sword and Shield did it, where you could invite people to like version exclusive raids.
Yeah.
I did like that.
Exactly.
And I assume we will have something similar to that in Scarlet and Violet. My worry is like, we got really hyped when we first saw the multiplayer, and I think we definitely probably blew that out of proportion.
For sure.
Like in retrospect, mostly because like I like throwing cold water on myself and coming back to reality some days. I mean, it's going to suck because I really want it to be awesome.
Well, it gets more and more impressive each gen.
I really do just want to be able to battle people like in the overworld. I think that would be sweet. And maybe it's there. We just haven't heard anything to say otherwise yet.
Battle people in the overworld? I thought we saw that.
I don't know if we've seen people battle their friends in the overworld.
Oh, maybe they just had like pictures. Yeah, okay.
They've had like pictures with the Pokemon out, but...
And it looked like a battle. Okay, yeah.
And it's like, we're like so very close. Like,
yeah.
They're getting me very, very close to it.
Like I think I remember I was on the show last time when we were like, oh, okay, Summer League, meet me at the beach and we'll fight at the beach.
Yeah, which would be fun and should be how it happens.
Yeah.
It should be how it happens. And I would love for that to be what it goes on. I think that would be phenomenal. But we will definitely see. And maybe you could like bring in Pokemon that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting Scarlet, Seth's getting Violet. Like you and I can go and like maybe your Pokemon pop up in my overworld or something while we're playing around.
Yeah, exactly.
And vice versa.
Yeah, because you can visit other people's worlds. That's a new way to actually explore and discover them in a more natural way without just trading.
I would love for that to happen. I doubt it will, but I would love for that to happen. I mean, the way we'll get it is probably still through raids. That's what I imagine will happen. Is we will have some version exclusive raids that we can go in and I can get one or the other. Just like how we handled like Colossal, and I think Colossal was like paired with Lapras for some reason. In terms of Gmax exclusivity.
Just pure irony.
The version exclusive Gmaxes were like, well, it was like Flapple and Appleton, first of all, which was insane. I like that. I did like that evolution because it was just like an item thing.
And the item was the exclusive.
Yeah, that was cool.
We loved it.
The item was the exclusive, which I thought was fun. I did like that. I do hope we get that. And I think we might actually with based on like that one trailer where we think we see like baby Mega Man.
Yeah.
It might be like a version exclusive item that gets us Big Mega Man or Proto Man.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I can see that.
So maybe it's just man. Yeah.
I could see that happening. It's just man. It's just a guy. We pulled him off the street.
Just normal man. Yeah, it's just a guy.
Just a guy. We pulled him off the street. He's man.
They plucked one of those regular people from Mario Odyssey.
Well, I imagine it's just like a fire type, and then you give it an item, and then it evolves into the ghost or the psychic.
And it's either a ghost or a psychic, yeah.
Yeah. I imagine that's how it works out, but I could be very, very wrong.
I think it like the entries for those is like it got armor that did things, it got swords that did things, so it might be.
Yeah.
What if we bring over the rusted shield and rusted sword, and that's what we give little fire guy, and oh yeah, the sword for Zacian makes him become Cerule Edge.
God, stop it!
That would be so stupid.
Stop it! Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I'm kind of hoping that the sword just stays in Sword and Shield and never returns anywhere.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Zacian stays in Sword and Shield and never returns anywhere.
I think we might get like base Zacian, but I think Crown Form Zacian just will never show up.
If you got base Zacian, you'd get crowns.
Maybe.
I'm gonna put a hard maybe on that.
Mega Sable, I would like a word with you. Another Pokemon that's item dependent on its evolution.
Yeah, well, that's not so much an item dependency as a mechanic.
Mechanic, that's true.
Just like this.
There's a lot of forms of Pokemon that have been just left in the past, but Megas are forms that they wanted to trash, and I completely understand that to some extent.
No, I don't understand it, but it is what it is.
Poor Necrozma.
I don't endorse it, and I don't support it, and they should feel bad.
Poor Necrozma. Necrozma needs something, man.
Give it just the ability, please. Just the ability to do that.
Yeah. Like, we should just let it turn into that. Maybe even Rayquaza. Like, Mega Rayquaza should just exist. Like, let that be like a vestige.
Yeah, because it can do it. It's the only one that can do it by itself. Like, I still know Dragon Ascent, but I just forgot.
I forgot how to do the thing.
No one prayed to me hard enough.
Oh, God. Version exclusive, I think, part of me still thinks it's a vestige of, like, the past, and we could just do with one game.
It is, but I do like that we're innovating it in new ways. Because it's not going anywhere.
Probably not. I think after Sun and Moon, we've done a better job. And by that, I mean, I think
Agreed.
Sword and Shield did a better job.
Yeah.
I honestly think like the biggest failure of the Pokemon Company in the past decade, outside of Dexit, at least Dexit's communication.
Mark your bingo cards, everyone. If he didn't say it, I was gonna.
Well, you brought up Mega Sableye.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, you started it, Seth.
And cool colors. So there's your Seth bingo card.
You even used Mega Sableye for, like, lowest speed. I'm like, does that even count anymore? If you're not a Pokemon anymore, do you get to count?
I think Sword and Shield did a better job because I think the biggest flounder, like I said, was probably Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Agree. Too similar.
It's just what it should have been.
Well, after you've innovated into Black and White 2,
Seriously.
and they're just like, these are the first redos that we've ever done,
What a step down, yeah.
you're just like, hey, let's like revert and like regress to like way long ago and just make Platinum again with a worse story than the original
But
game.
make it 2 Platinums.
It wasn't even different till you were in like Endgame. Like, God.
It's, like, marginally different, too. It's like, oh, it's like the same thing with, like, a few things.
And it took away like the good story too about like Lusamine.
Yeah.
It took away like the meaningful, impactful story and just was just like, Dragon God must be restored.
Well, honestly, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon were not the best choices.
Yeah.
I kind of preferred the Dragon God storyline, if I'm being honest.
I don't know. I like nuanced stories.
That's why I play Pokemon, is for Dragon Gods to be resurrected and light to be restored to an alternate dimension. Not for mommy issues.
That's why I play D&D. That's
That's all great, but, like, why not, I don't know. I feel like the OG Sun and Moon were well regarded for their story more than most Pokemon.
I agree with that.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, they're in the right direction. Hopefully Scarlet and Violet proves me wrong and I go, yeah, this is a good idea. What I really want is I want 2 versions that make me go, I really have to play the other one. You know what I mean?
I do not want that.
I want that.
My wallet does not want that.
I want that. Well, like, not enough that, like, you're missing out too much on it, but, like, I want enough differences that I'm just like, yeah, I gotta go see that. You know what I mean?
I love Pokemon, but I don't want to feel a need to spend $120 plus DLC on 2 versions, please.
You play the trading card game, Seth. I don't want to hear about spending $120 on Pokemon.
I do. I know. That's why I don't want to spend more.
Yeah. It's like when someone gets, like, a Big Mac, but they also order a Diet Coke. You know? Like, let him have his Diet Coke.
Yeah.
The TCG is his Big Mac, but he don't want to have to get both.
Yeah.
You know.
The reason I like the video game is because you buy it once and you're done.
All right. Well, I think this is a good place to stop.
Yeah.
Versions may be okay. I don't know.
Maybe sort of kind of ish.
I mean, they're not going anywhere, so at least do something new with it.
I mean, they are doing something good with it.
Exactly.
I like it. I'm honestly excited for these 2 versions and their changes between them, so.
I'm more excited about this than I was Sword and Shield.
Koraidon is ugly.
Both statements I agree with. I still picked Koraidon, though, because I wanted to do it.
Derpy run animation. Blech.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that, but we'll see.
Give me the Tron cycle, thank you.
Tron Cycle.
There's definitely going to be like a reasoning in the game as to why it is that way.
Yeah.
I am excited to see it.
I mean, it might not be a good reason, but it'll be a reason.
Yep. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to take our respective bikes and kick it on over to the Pokemon of the episode. We will catch you on the flip-flop.
Poke of the episode.
And welcome to our Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode is National Dex number 715, Noivern, the Soundwave Pokemon.
Although it has a violent disposition, if you give it a nice ripe fruit that it loves, Noivern will suddenly become tame.
So Noivern is a good Pokemon, kind of.
Yeah, we like Noivern.
Yeah.
It's in UU, and it's still not terrible. It's like pretty good. Base 123 speed, pretty good.
Heavy duty boots, pretty good.
Yeah.
Gave it new breath of life.
Yeah, heavy duty boots really helped out. Base HP 85. Special attack 97. That's not bad. And its move pool is actually pretty deep. I mean,
It's very deep.
Yeah, it's very deep move pool. And so you've got 80 special defense, 80 defense, 70 attack. It's going to zoom and special attack. That's what Noivern's going to do. It gets lots of sound-based moves because it's Noivern, and it's just good Pokemon. I don't know what to say.
If you give it a modest nature, it is simultaneously faster and stronger than a Salamence on the Switch.
I believe that, actually.
Uh-huh.
No, I've had to spec it out for VGC many years ago. But yeah, fun fact.
Wow. Okay.
I believe that. Noivern is like a very fun and interesting Pokemon, and like Seth said, it definitely helps to have the heavy duty boots, which is exactly what we're running.
Yeah.
We've got a UU team today, and I didn't realize how much I missed doing Smogon versions of teams
Right.
on the show until very recently. Mostly because we've been stuck in GS Cup for the past year and a half now. And
yeah.
in VGC, and it's garbage. And seeing just like, I miss variety.
Yeah.
I really miss variety.
I'm kind of getting back on the just random ladder just to kind of get back in the flow of it before Scarlet Violet drops. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely going to get into VGC again when that happens. And then hopefully a cart allows us to play the Smogon formats.
agreed.
Because without being able to play them on card, it's just not nearly as fun. I love like coming up with a team and then like making it. You know what I mean? Like there's just like something to making it.
There is.
And you feel better about it, especially if you breed it. But breeding might not be in the game. Who knows? I hope to God it is.
It is somehow. We know that. There's eggs in baskets delivered by a stork.
We know there are eggs, but where do those eggs come from? And can we control what those eggs are?
It'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, they've never taken a big, like a main series mechanic out of the game. They've never done that.
Everything will be fine.
No, never.
So on this team, we've got a Noivern with heavy-duty boots with the ability Infiltrator, which for those of you at home who are unaware, this lets you hit through things like Substitute.
And screens.
And screens. And screens. Very important. And screens.
That makes Noivern very good Pokemon. With 252 special attack, 4 special defense, 252 speed. Noivern is just crazy good against many staples in the tier like Skarmory, which is also on this team.
Noivern is Beta Dragapult. I just realized.
It kind of, yeah. And it's got, it's Timid Nature because we're going to go fast. And Dracometer Flamethrower so you can take out Skarmories to prevent Skarmories from setting up on you, which is a problem that can happen in OU. Or UU. UU. I apologize.
How dare you.
It's got Flamethrower, Draco Meteor, U-turn, and Roost so you can roost up. Those heavy-duty boots so you can come in on spikes and, spikes usually didn't matter, but you can come in on rocks without too much of an issue.
It's got a pretty good resistance pool, too, so you often use it to absorb a hit and then fire back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, its defenses aren't terrible. Base 80 isn't like the end of the world.
Right.
It's not frail. Yeah.
It's not frail, it's just not bulky.
Just because it's not bulky doesn't mean it's frail, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you've got Thunderous Therian on this team as well to back it up with heavy-duty boots of its own because rocks. In fact, half this team is holding heavy-duty boots.
Yeah.
It's got Volt Absorb because that's the only ability it can have is Therian. 252 special attack, 252 speed, Timid Nature because we're going to go fast again. We got Volt Switch, Knockoff, Psychic, and Focus Blast. This thing's just there to just hit hard. Pivot if you can. I mean, Volt Turn cores like the Thundurus and the Noivern are very good. They almost balance each other out with the exception of like an Ice Resist and a Rock Resist. I'm going to go ahead and I don't care. Whoever wants to go can go and take 2 more.
I'll go ahead then. I'll take the next 2 up here going this direction. Next up, we have the aforementioned Ice Resist. It is Slowking, holding a Colbur Berry. Ability is, of course, Regenerator, because that's the only good one. It's a special defensive and kind of actually mixed defensive little guy. It's got 252 HP, 200 defense, and 56 special defense with a sassy nature. I'm sure that's to hit a bonus point in special defense and just dump the rest in defense.
1 sec. I need to know what Slowking's other... Oh my god, you're right. The only ability is Regenerator.
I think it's like Own Tempo or something like that.
Yeah, it's Own Tempo and Oblivious. Yeah, Regenerator is the only good one.
Yeah.
Its ability is Regenerator. There are no others.
Yeah, exactly. And the moveset is Scald, Future Sight, Slack Off, and Teleport. Pretty normal Slowking. Throw a Future Sight in the air so you can mess with stuff, especially with a Volt Turn core like you've got.
Future Sight has like shown up lately, like in the past gen.
Yeah.
And I'm really here for it.
It got buffed.
They boosted it one of these gens, right? Yeah, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, up to 120, I think.
Yeah, it used to be like 80 or 90 or 100, so like...
80 for the regular.
It needed it.
It's huge damage, and I love it because it has just like made plays that are really, really fun. Because you can like either force the dark type to come in, or you can or resist or anything. So I really, really like it.
It's part of the reason that Urshifu Single Strike was busted, because the things that like to switch into that can't switch into a Future Sight in the air. So
yeah.
Anyway, so that's the Slowking, fairly standard. And yeah, speaking of dark types and things that pair well with Slowking, from my experience playing UU, Zarude. This is the Dada form because you have to have it with the drip. It's got that scarf.
The perp.
Yeah, there's literally no. There are no stat differences. I learned this today. There are no stat differences.
It's just fancy. But it's got heavy duty boots. It's got Leaf Guard as an ability because it has no other option, and attack, 252 attack, 4 special defense, 252 speed, jolly nature, so just max attack, max speed, and Power Whip, Darkest Lariat, U-turn, and Jungle Healing as its moveset. Hit hard, get out, heal up if you need.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got 2 bulky boys, and Sublime's going to take those.
We've got 2 thick kings finishing it out. Let's start with Skarmory, rocking the Rocky helmet, sturdy, Natch, in case Noivern tries to come for you, you know. And Bold Nature, 252 HP, 200 defense, and 56 speed. It's got spikes because if you're not running spikes, are you even using Skarmory? Iron defense and body press. Body press is the only offensive move, so watch out. And Roost, because it don't go nowhere. And then we finish it up with another thick boy, Hippowdon, also rocking the Rocky helmet. Half this team is just heavy duty boots and Rocky helmet. It's like, we don't need item diversity. It's solid.
No, the only one that's not is literally the Colderberry.
Slowking,
the Slowking, yeah.
Yep.
So obviously we rocking the Sandstream. So that's fun passive damage. Stealth Rock, because of course. Also, Careful Nature, 252 HP, 8 attack, 220 special defense, and 28 speed. So we're spreading it out. Earthquake for stab, Toxic, and Slack Off. So, lots of stalliness with lots of switching. Ooh.
This team speaks to me.
I was gonna say, like Seth Vilo, don't you dare! Don't you dare!
And it's got Zarude in there with Jungle Healing, so even opponent, like, semi-stall doesn't really work that well, because Zarude eats through opposing semi-stall.
Oh, all right.
It's great. I love it.
Yes, this is a great, fun team. I don't know, this looks fun. I should play UU.
It does look fun.
Right?
It looks simple enough, too, to drive.
UU's where all the fun stuff is. Yeah.
Yeah, always. UU's always where the fun stuff is. I'm not going to lie. Because, like, it's like where... Because you see all the very popular stuff, and like we can play about Lando all the time, but just play Yu-Gi-Oh! And then that's gone.
Just play Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's last gen's OU.
Yeah, it's usually always last gen OU without Lando. Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. All right. Well, if you want this team in its shiny form with the exception of Dada Zarude, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/puclpodcast, and we'll give it away this week. But other than that, we are going to go ahead and we are going to kick it on over to our mailbag.
It's mail time! Send in your emails! Mail!
And welcome to the mailbag. Our mailbag is the part of the show where you can email us at puclpodcast@gmail.com, and we will try to read it on the show. If not, I know I read them all. Please know that I read them all, and they will be on our Discord server afterwards so that other people can read them if they're interested in your thoughts. On that note, also, I have to let people know that this segment is sponsored by the fictional energy drink Green Tauros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Hooves! Yeah.
And as always, we will give out the Green Tauros badge to whoever is worthy. I'm going to just say worthy because it's however we feel that day. Last week, we did ask you guys if you were excited for Scarlet and Violet or what you thought of the competitive meta since we talked about that 2 weeks ago. So we're going to go ahead and let's jump right into it. Our next question is, or our first emailer, not question, but our first emailer is going to be from Gigasaurus Games, and I believe Seth has this one.
Yep, I do. Hello, Puckle crew. The episode this week was really interesting because it did a really good job of summarizing a lot of the major trends that have been discussed on this show and Battlecast over the last 3 years. Unfortunately, I didn't play much competitive this generation, but it still was really interesting to be reminded of everything that I've been hearing about. To be honest, other than the Puckle tournaments, most of the competitive I played was early on, which I found really fun. While it was unquestionably true that things like Dynamax, Dracovish, and Galarian Darmanitan were broken in OU, I often enjoy playing with broken stuff and seeing how overpowered I can make it. There's a reason I enjoy playtesting board games. One of the most fun teams I had made for a Puckle tournament was the week I brought a Galarian Darmanitan to the TTT this year and watched it wreck shop since it was still legal in VGC. I also brought an Aurorus 1 week after for slow weather. Monster bringing Galarian Darmanitan to a Puckle.
I mean, if it's allowed.
If it's allowed.
I respect the hustle.
All right. Moving on. I am really looking forward to seeing what competitive in Gen 9 will shape up to look like. I am worried about the triple stab that it sounds like terastallization will grant.
Take away the other two?
But it could also be what will end up being just fine.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does not.
We just learned this last week.
Oh, that's fab. That's fab.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned it from the Nintendo reviewers and people like that. So, yeah, it does not remove the two stabs or the one stab. It doesn't remove your prior stab, so you gain it.
Yeah. It's really not good that's happening, but...
Oh my god, T-Tar! Yes, get it, T-Tar! Ooh, that's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think it's as bad as Dynamax in that regard, but I don't... Like, I thought it for sure was gonna be fine in OU before we knew about the stab thing, and now I'm just
I'm a little iffy.
Like, I'm a little iffy now, but even then, I'm still like, it's just one Pokemon once a game. And
stab on ice without being ice, though. That's
fab.
Yeah.
That's fab.
But, well, yeah. I mean, it's just that Avalug's going to get good if it shows up.
It deserves it. It never gets to be good.
It will, Seth. God, don't.
Not mine. I'm the ruler of Avalug, apparently. Anyway.
Yes, apparently.
Oh, they actually go into this idea. I actually think natural ice types could see some solid use next generation outside of Weavile, because I think the fact that they will be able to swap to a better defensive typing while keeping Ice Stab, especially Electric for Stab Bolt Beam, could be a major boon. It actually kind of scares me, even as someone who really enjoys playing Hyper Offense, considering that their terrible defensive typing is the balance for their great offensive typing. Especially for something like Frosmoth, although as I look at the list, I could see a lot of them still being hobbled by their often poor speed stats. Thanks again for all your hard work putting the show together each week, and I hope you have a great week. Gigasaurus Games.
Well, thank you. We hope you have a good week, too. All right. Well, our next email this week is going to come to you from Soap. Hello, Puckalonians. Soap here. I'm excited to explore the Paldea region, and I have high hopes for Scarlet and Violet. I've been a Pokemon fan for as long as I can remember, but will be the first generation where I jump in with a bit of background playing VGC. I look forward to testing the wildest, random, and potentially inane team compositions I can think of to bend terrestrialization to my whims. Actually, in Devil's terrestrialization is probably okay. I think it's probably okay. I think every new Pokemon revealed so far has been an absolute banger, alongside well-designed trainers. Yes, the trainer designs have been super
top
on
tier.
par.
Yeah.
Or like they're top tier trainer designs. Like I do not care. Like Brassius, still my favorite so far.
What was that one before him? Don't care.
Iono, favorite.
Iono's good too.
Iono's amazing. Iono's my favorite design.
These designs have so much more personality than any we've ever had. Like I will say the characters are more memorable from Sword and Shield. Like the gym leaders there are way more memorable.
Are they? Because I can't remember the grass type's name. What's his name?
Milo.
Sure.
Milo.
Yeah, that guy.
Milo.
You mean the
Milo
You
No-Nos?
mean the Ditto that is a man?
Big
Milo
body,
No-Nos.
little face. That guy. I much prefer
Milo
Brassius.
No-Nos. Brassius is good. I like Brassius. But moving on. I look forward to having multiple stories, as I find it easier to return to games that always provide some kind of goal to work toward. The only thing I worry about is that picnics will have me making sandwiches so baffling that I will have to recreate them in real life. But whatever I put between two slices of bread is between me and Arceus. Blasting off again, your favorite hygienic agent, Soap.
Just don't put soap between the bread.
Love it.
Yeah, don't put soap between the bread.
That'd be bad.
Both the person or the object.
There you go.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna finish it up with an email from Farmer Fox.
Yep.
Hey there, Puckle. Farmer Fox here again, writing in for a second time in a year, which is a new record for me. Taking a bit of a break from competitive Pokemon, as I haven't made it to the playoffs in either the draft I'm in or the Puckle tournament, so it's a good time to recharge my batteries. I have jumped back into Legends Arceus as I'm trying to fill out my shiny decks. Got a few good ones, including a female Combi, which is always a plus. Now onto the mailbag question. I think Scarlet and Violet are looking really good so far. A lot of the mons are looking cool, and the new moves and abilities are interesting. The region itself is kind of cool. I just hope to see some interesting features in the open world part. Because unless I've missed anything, there hasn't been much in the space between towns other than fields and a couple of hills. I'm sure there will be something like that, as I have full faith in Game Freak. Well, I'm glad someone does. Anyway, I will have to end this here, as I'm writing this on my breakfast break at work on Saturday morning. Thanks for the great show, as always, Farmer Fox. P.S. The best thing about the trailers for Scarlet and Violet is they haven't shown Taurus or Miltank, so I'm still hoping for regionals of them.
Ooh.
To be fair, we did see the Tauros shirt. We saw the Tauros shirt.
Yeah, that's true.
So I assume Tauros, in some extent, will be in the game.
Has to be. It'd be rude if it wasn't.
It has to be. You can't give him a shirt that cool and not put him in the game.
Well, also the running of the bulls. Like, yeah.
I think the only thing we had like that in Sword and Shield was like, I think there was like an exclusive Poliwhirl shirt you could get from some kind of pre-order thing in Japan. And then Poliwhirl wasn't in base Sword and Shield. But then it showed up in the DLC, which I assume we're going to get DLC for these games because I don't see why not. The adoption rate from my recollection was very good in Sword and Shield.
I hope so. I much preferred that to another game.
Yeah, it's a better way to expand on it instead of doing a second version. Yeah, I think Sword and Shield knocked that out of the park.
I think it's a great way to like give the game, more than 500 Pokemon, which I think modern Pokemon games kind of need at this point, because especially if you want it to be alive, like outside of the 2 months after release, you really need to have some more content there. Because you could realistically finish, if it's anything like Sword and Shield, where they put the evolutions in the wild like they should, you can finish the Pokedex pretty quickly if it's 400 Pokemon.
Yeah.
And as long as there's no like Runa Regress evolutions. But we'll see. We will see. That was in fact a mailbag segment that we did today. So thank you for that. I would like to give it to Farmer Fox. I don't think he has it yet.
Sounds good to me.
I'm a fan. I don't know if he has it. If he has it, give it to him. If not, don't. That's the answer.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you want to email us next week, you can email us at puclpodcast@gmail.com and let us know what you think of version exclusives. If you think versions should exist still, let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys and what your opinions are. Did you think PLA got it right? I don't think PLA got it right, but
I mean, PLA was a different thing, so
yeah, I think PLA got it right for PLA.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
It's in its own lane, very much.
Because like the point isn't to battle in PLA, the point is to catch
and explore, very that.
Yeah, and explore. So yeah, I do agree. But yeah, if you would like to do that, please do puclpodcast.com. In the meantime, follow us on social media over at Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. You can, of course, catch up with us on Discord at discord.com/puclpodcast. Make sure you catch our streams over at twitch.tv/thepuclpodcast. I think next week we're going to have our annual survey out. We'll see what those people think.
Heck yeah. That's always really helpful to give us thoughts and things.
We really appreciate the feedback when we put those out. We will announce it on the Discord first, obviously. I think we're going to do something like if we get 200 responses by the launch of Scarlet and Violet, we'll give away a copy.
Nice.
Which is a very reasonable goal, actually.
Absolutely.
It's actually a very reasonable goal based on our past survey responses.
And a very good reward, yeah.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for that survey. And then, of course, you can always support the show by going over to our Patreon at patreon.com/puclpodcast and get, all the goodies that are over there. So hopefully merch soon. People, like the patrons specifically, requested some kind of merch, and I'm interested to see if other people are also curious. That might be on the survey. So on that note, though, we are going to go ahead and we are going to end the show here. I have been Trainer Thatch.
And I continue to be Sublime.
I have been Seth Vilo.
And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.
It's closing